Sir, step back. First class isn't for people like you. That was the first thing I heard the moment I stepped onto that jet. Words clipped and ice cold, as if they'd been waiting for someone like me to walk in. Captain Sarah Mitchell barely looked up, just flicked her hand to the rear, not a hint of doubt or hesitation, like I was just another inconvenience standing between her and takeoff. You'll need to verify your priority status before we allow you to take that seat. Or you could try economy. They might have space for you. And I'll be honest with you, the looks I got from some of those passengers when people sense something's off, but they're not sure if they want to get involved. There was a man near the window, maybe 50, hair slicked back, silver watch, so heavy it looked like it could pull him through the floor, shove his briefcase onto the middle table, and barked, "Let's keep this area clear." He didn't have to shout. Money speaks loud all by itself. Now I just stood there, taking it all in. Dr. Julian Hayes, that's my name, gray button-down shirt, navy slacks, loafers that had seen better days. Nothing about me screamed billionaire. That's kind of the point. See, I bought Zenith Aviation a year ago, the same luxury jet company that was supposed to set the gold standard. I'd slipped aboard dressed down on purpose, just to see how the staff treated a so-called nobody. But what happened that day wasn't just a failure of company protocol, it was something uglier, something raw, and I could feel it as soon as Captain Mitchell gripped my boarding stub like it might stain her fingers. Unverified, she snapped, poking the pass right back at my chest. Security will be notified if you don't return to your assigned section. She never even tried to check my name. I looked over at that briefcase at the guy next to it, Richard Holt, private equity, smug as ever, looking at me like I was a typo in his favorite spreadsheet. The man across the aisle lifted his phone, discreet but obvious, catching the moment. That was Liam Chun, a travel blogger with a following, and I could tell he recognized me, but he kept quiet. He'd seen stuff like this before, I could tell by the way he watched. But this time, the man being targeted wasn't just any passenger I'd built half of what they were flying on. A little backstory: back in 2005, I was this rising star in an aviation firm in Denver, designing interiors that broke records. Never got the credit, thuffed me ideas, my patents, all handed off to someone else. By 2018, I'd walked away, started my own company, Zenith Technologies. Fast forward to last year, I bought Zenith Aviation and its fleet outright. Now here I am, on my own jet, being asked to prove I belonged. Sarah turned toward the cockpit, muttering to her first officer about flagging this guy, delaying departure. Then she announced to the whole cabin, "Sorry folks, there's a seating issue." I kept calm, but my jaw clenched. This wasn't just about seating. This was targeted, intentional. Richard stretched out, flashed a first-class badge at Sarah, fake confidence to go with his fake smile. "I specifically requested privacy," he said, looking right through me. Sarah nodded, like she'd just gotten a call from corporate. I reached for my phone, tapped once. "Anna, activate protocol 3, I said, soft but certain. On the other end, Anukika, my executive assistant, just replied, "It's set, sir." No drama. Just a hint of steel in her voice. She'd seen this before. Liam leaned in and whispered, "This isn't right. You know that." I just said, "Log it, Liam." And he did, fast posting to X about how Zenith crew were profiling a black passenger. No ID check, no grace, just removal. Within seconds, his phone lit up with notifications, like sparks in dry grass. Sarah turned back to me. "We need to verify you before this goes any further. Or you can leave." I raised an eyebrow. "Or you verify your own conduct first," I said. "You're going to answer for this." Emma, the flight attendant, stepped up with her tablet, tapping the manifest, glancing at me, then double-tapping flag for removal. Across Zenith headquarters, Anukika watched the notification come through. "Passenger unauthorized, recommend removal. No explanation, just a digital execution." Richard slid a folded note onto my seat. "Try budget flights," it read. I folded it, pocketed it, and turned to Sarah. "You're destroying everything this company stands for. 1 second at a time." Meanwhile, Liam posted a photo of the note 3 minutes later, 2,000 likes. Underneath the calm, pressure was building, passengers whispering, shifting, wondering. Then, out of nowhere, Malik Jordan, another black entrepreneur and a surprise on my guest list, locked eyes with me, not saying a word, but understanding everything. Then I did something that caught everyone off guard. I adjusted my cuff, looked at Sarah, and said, "If you thought this was going to end quietly, you've misread the moment." My ring buzzed. Protocol 3 had escalated. If you've ever been profiled, told you don't belong, stayed quiet while they try to shrink you, yeah, this is for you. But I'll pause for a sec. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country below, because what comes next is justice. 12 minutes at 38,000 feet. First Officer Thomas Blake didn't waste time. As soon as Sarah waved him over, he stomped down the aisle. "He's not on the verified manifest," she said, voice loud enough for everyone to hear. "If he refuses to comply, we may need to escalate." Thomas squared his shoulders in front of me. "Sir, you'll need to leave this cabin immediately or be escorted by security." Old school, aggressive, the whole cabin frozen. I stayed seated, calm but alert. "Understood." "Then verify me." I tapped my ring, pinging HQ. Emma pulled up the log and flagged me again. "No badge scan, no ID, just not on record." Sarah nodded to Thomas, who was more than ready to toss me. Richard muttered, "This is what happens when you let anyone think they belong in here," just loud enough for Liam's camera. Liam posted again. "Pilot accuses black man of being non-priority, no verification, just threats." Views exploded 2 million in seconds. Then Sarah got snarky. "You could always apply for maintenance. We're always looking for people who know their way around a plane." Richard laughed outright. I kept my voice low. "You're violating every standard your badge is supposed to uphold." Across the country, Enukika was watching the log. Emma had flagged me unauthorized without even checking. "Unlocking the log, filing a complaint," she told me. Elena Ruiz, our top counsel, was already on it. Thomas leaned in. "Leave quietly, or we'll call airport security." "Call who you need," I replied, "but start by calling your conscience." Liam typed, "First officer threatens passenger, no cause." Tension rising. Elena buzzed through my earpiece. Protocol 303. All internal logs preserved. Do not leave your seat. News alerts started scrolling on the cabin display. Bloomberg, Reuters. The headlines were damning. Richard got bold. He boarded without clearance. Check the security footage. It was a lie, but once spoken, it stuck. Liam countered, "That's false." I saw him board. Gate agent let him in. Sarah ignored him, telling the passengers they were investigating a manifest discrepancy. Meanwhile, Elena at HQ filed formal misconduct charges. Sarah, Thomas, Emethede reported me as a trespasser. "Let them come," and Nukika added, "This is full protocol now." Liam's post crossed 500,000 views. Media requests poured in. Tension peaked. Richard whispered, "There's nothing you can do. They've already decided what you are." I didn't look at him. "And they'll soon remember who I am." Emma reclassified my seat as vacant, right as I sat in it. Liam caught it in a photo. Then the truth exploded online. Passenger being profiled is Dr. Julian Hayes, CEO of Zenith Technologies. He owns the company. 90 seconds, trending. Sarah turned to see my face under that headline. Tech billionaire allegedly profiled on his own jet. The cabin was silent, passengers now fully awake. "You just profiled your employer," I told her, in front of the world. Doors closed, but the situation was out of her hands. Sarah doubled down. "Financial verification required for first class. Proof of payment now." Thomas barked, "You're refusing to comply. Grounds for removal." I didn't flinch. What policy requires disclosure of financials for an assigned seat? No answer. Richard waved his badge. "This is what a priority passenger looks like." The arrogance was almost impressive. Emma called security. That's when Lucas Grant appeared, Zenith as onboard security lead. He barked, "Vacate this seat immediately," then slapped my tablet to the floor. Phones caught it. Liam posted, "Security just hit Dr. Hayes' tablet. Assault. Hashtag Zenith fail." "You just crossed the line," I said, voice soft. Lucas didn't flinch. Elena's voice, cool as ice, told me to initiate protocol 303. I tapped my ring, and HQ began logging every detail, every second. Anukika scanned Richard's budget was fake. Elena started a violation report. Sarah, still proud, announced, "You're now being detained under protocol." Emma hovered. "We got pilot confirmation. Remove him." Anukika told Liam, "Post everything." He uploaded the 2-minute video, the denial, the mockery, the tablet slap. Within minutes, it trended worldwide. News screens aboard the jet lit up. CEO profiled, threatened, and confronted on his own jet. Then came the blow. "Anukika, patch me to Elena," I said. Elena's voice came over the speaker. "This is Elena Ruiz, corporate counsel for Zenith Technologies. Dr. Hayes is listed as part of an internal audit. Removing him is a protocol breach and triggers legal review." Gasps in the cabin. "He owns this airline," a woman whispered. I said it clearly. "I am the CEO of Zenith Technologies. This aircraft is mine. Your time on it is over." The power shift was immediate. Elena's voice confirmed the order screw terminated pending legal review. Richard banned for life. Passengers froze, phones filming. Sarah tried to resist, but authority had flipped. Elena added, "Captain Mitchell has 20 bias complaints hidden by Thomas Blake." Emma Walsh manipulated logs. All locked, submitted for review. Justice had come, not as revenge, but as repair. As I walked back into the cabin, now in my Navy suit, the silence was different. No fear, just a new order. Captain Sarah Mitchell, First Officer Thomas Blake, Flight Attendant Emma Walsh, Security Lead Lucas Granary relieved of duty. Passengers, you've witnessed the termination of Zenith personnel for breach of ethics and profiling. Cameras rolled, the world watched. And then, the final twist. Elena uncovered a code Emma and Thomas flagged passengers for a visual mismatch. It meant anyone who didn't look like they belonged. Most flagged were people of color. I looked every passenger in the eye. That ends today. Liam posted, "Visual mismatch," the term they used. Julian Hayes didn't just match the profile. He built it. Then he burned the old one down. Emma pleaded, "I have a family. How many passengers did you erase?" I asked. She walked off the plane, followed by the others, their time over. Standing in the aisle, I raised my smartwatch and launched the Zenith Equity Program AI audits, diversity training, real-time equity monitors on every flight. The screens glowed gold and silver. Today wasn't about a seat, I said. It was about a system that believed appearances determine worth. That ends now. Within hours, FAA launched reviews. Zenith bookings shot up, and the staff who failed this test were gone. I created the Zenith Fund, $30 million, to support aviation education for underserved youth. I invited Malik to the board, Liam to speak at our launch, 5 kids from tough neighborhoods to join our first class. Then came a letter from a retired pilot, confessing he'd filed complaints about Sarah years ago, but was too afraid to press them. My actions gave him courage to speak. Reuters ran with it. Pilot confession confirms decade of hidden bias. Zenith CEO's actions spur industry reckoning. I read it quietly and nodded. It was never just about one flight. Today, Zenith Aviation operates with full transparency, AI reviews, and the Zenith Fund has helped hundreds access aviation careers. If you've ever been dismissed, overlooked, or told you didn't belong, remember, your seat is earned, not requested. Share this story. Support the Zenith Fund. And remember, justice doesn't always come loud. Sometimes it walks calmly down the aisle, and everything changes. Now, it's your turn. Where do you stand? Did Zenith do the right thing? Or did they go too far? Is justice about rules? Or is it about dignity? I want to hear your story. Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about justice in the skies and in our own lives.